another review, and today we are redoing, that's right, redoing the X plus 30 centimeter Titanosaurus, and it is the Rick Boy edition. Bam! Alright, so check it out. Real quick, I did this figure review, if you want to even call it a figure review, back when I first started doing fresh vinyl, this was even before fresh vinyl became a thing with me. So I did this back, this was like my, I think my third actual video. Third or fourth video. And, this is like back in the beginning. So if you want to check it out and punish yourself through that hot garbage because it was bad. Like, I went back and, watched it myself. I'm like, ugh! I just didn't like it. So, we're redoing this review in my, the standard that I've been doing it, and that's what's going to happen. Alright, so, let's get right down to business. Titanosaurus came out in September 2012. Okay? So, that was, wow, over 2 years ago now. Alright? 2 years ago. This was also my very first 30 centimeter figure. And in the beginning I said I was not going to get into 30 centimeter figures, but I was like, it's Titanosaurus, how can you not? Okay? So, bam. So here it is. My first 30 centimeter figure. If you didn't know that, take notes. Why? I don't know. You never know. There might be a test or something going on. Woo-hoo. And we're going to review it. Review it. Alright. Enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get right down to business. First, we're going to talk about the box. Bam! Alright, so, check it out. The last time we talked about the figure, I had the box in front of the camera way too long. So, we're just going to get down to business. Awesome box art. First thing I want to say is that this box art probably pops the most out of any of the 30 centimeter boxes. So, you got a lot of red and everything. So, that looks really cool. Titanosaurus on the front. Bam! Titanosaurus. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla's counterattack. Remember, that was the name of the movie. It wasn't Terror of Godzilla. It wasn't Terror of Mechagodzilla. It was Mechagodzilla's counterattack. Okay? Bam! Unless I screwed it up, and I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. Alright, anyway, on the back, you got your corporate legal jargon in Japanese. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares about that. It just tells you about how fresh vinyl is potent and how it can make you crazy like me! Alright? So that's the box. Pretty basic. Real quick, just the inside. Yeah, I haven't really showed the insides of the box in a while, but if you're new to this and you don't know, the inside of the box comes with a plastic insert, comes with some twist ties, and, the plastic is made to mold to fit Titanosaurus, to keep it snug in its box if you're ever transporting him. Woo! So that's the box! Bam! Alright, sculpt and detail. Sculpt and detail. Sculpt and detail. Alright, so first off, 30 centimeter line. So the sculpt and detail is going to pop. You know what? I don't even think there's a difference between, losing detail in the sculpt between the 30 centimeter line or the 25 centimeter line. So either way, X plus, suit accuracy, as best as they can. The sculpt is beautiful. First thing we're going to talk about is all the bumps all over Titanosaurus. They are all over his neck, back, arms, legs, tail, feet, everything. These bumps, what do they look? I don't know. They look like burnt pepperoni pieces all over him or something. Pimples, birthmarks, whatever you want to call them. But those are well defined. You touch it, you can feel every little bump. Amazingly done, and very accurate to the suit. Okay. The next we're going to talk about the fins. We'll start at the top of the head. Those look good. Starts nice and tall, works its way down the neck, kind of, cuts down a little bit. And then on the back again, it starts off nice and, long at the top of the back, works its way down and evens out, towards the tail. Okay, so these look really good. And if you notice along the back, is that the dimples, alright, I guess we're going to call them dimples. I guess that's a little bit more accurate. The dimples on the back, they creep right up along this back fin, so that looks really awesome. I really dig that. The tail! Alright, check it out, the tail. Tail, dimpled up, pepperonied up, bumpy, all over the place. And then we get to the fan in the back. Now remember, Titanosaurus, one of his abilities was to, bend over and swoop his tail back and forth and create hurricane force winds. How's that go again? Okay, so that looks good. I really like that it's opened. You know what would have been a cool feature, maybe not so, specifically a Rick Boy feature, but if you could actually close it and open it. So, who knows? That's pretty cool. Hey, if they ever do an SH Monster Arts figure, haha, I bet they'll do that. Anyway, so, I know a lot of people want a Titanosaurus in the SH Monster Arts line. But that's a different story for another time. Bam! Alright, so, moving on. Let's move over to the legs. His legs, there's one thing I remember about Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla's Counterattack, whatever we're going to call it. What I remember about that movie is that when Titanosaurus is stepping on Godzilla as he's buried on the ground, his legs are just bulky and just bulky legs. So he's got these big bulky thighs, and then he's almost got, just his calves are just kind of scrawny and skinny, So these look really good. I really dig how they did this. You got the little indent on each thigh, so that looked cool. The calves are nicely done. And the feet, it's got 3 toes on each foot, even out with the claws, toenails at the end. So those look good. Toenails, those are really good. It's really the first time I'm looking at the figure in a while. Like really, really good. So everything looks top notch. Okay? Alright. The arms. Arms look good. He's got them out and forward, right in front of him. Pretty much how he walked in the movie. So that looks top notch. The hands. Now, one thing about the hands compared to other kaiju in the Godzilla series is that his hands are, they're not proportioned very well. Like he's got skinny little thumbs. He's got a long middle finger, and he's got, just the pinky, I guess we'll call it. It's just odd looking. It's not just your typical hands and claws. So those look good. So check those out. Okay. All right. Very nice. Very nice. All right. The stomach and the chest area, very muscular. It's like he's got 6-pack abs. 6-pack abs. Well, we got frills. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, they go all the way down. So we just got like 6-pack frills and more. Okay. Next, the chest, his chest muscles, his pecs. Those look really awesome. I'm going to tell you why. Because the way they sculpted, is that more of a paint job? No, it's part of the sculpt. It's like his chest, his muscles are ripping out because he's like so muscular. Okay, so that looks really awesome. I really dig that. Very well done. Very replicated very well from the suit. Okay, now moving up to the neck. Neck, nicely done. Again, we talked about the fin on the head, so that looks good. Then we got his little finicky ears. Okay, so those look cool. They are what they are. And be careful, they're thinner vinyl, so they will bend, they will give. They're not meant to do anything other than just be there and look cool. But they are thin vinyl, so they do have a little movement there. Not intentional movement. His horns, antennas, to get these as thin as possible, I can imagine, how to get that done, based off the mold. The mold itself might have been a little bit thinner, but once the figure was molded and everything in vinyl, they appeared bigger. So they kind of look like unicorn horns. So they're not exactly how they should be, but they look fine. I have no complaints. Okay? The face, we're going to talk, the face entitles, the rest of his head, his eyes, the mouth, and everything looks awesome. His eyes are awesome. Check out those eyes. They look really, really well. I love how they're very cat-like, and his eyebrows are so well defined. They creep from the back of his head all the way up to his snout almost. So he's got some really long, elongated eyebrows. Those look good. His mouth, everything, top notch. Teeth look good. I love how the tongue is sticking out. Again, flimsy, thin vinyl, so be careful with that. Don't play around with it too much. So that looks good. The teeth are all awesome looking. Very nice. Awesome. Sculpted, and then mind you, the teeth are sculpted individually. So that is for top-notch teeth sculpting. Rush! Okay? So that looks good. Again, the neck, we didn't really talk about the neck, but look at the frills. Now remember, Titanosaurus' head, he kind of bobs up and down. So, if that's replicating, what the suit looked like, with all that extra suit material there, so it kind of crinkled a little bit. And, because he is kind of giant dinosaur, so some extra skin. So that looks really, really awesome. There's one thing I do not see on this figure, which I thought would have been cool. I'll have to watch the movie again to see if, where were the peepholes for the suit actors to see out of, but those are not replicated here. Not a big deal. So, real quick, if you look at this side of the back, if you look at the right side, starting from the right shoulder all the way down to the tail, you'll see a seam here. This is not a seam made, you know, to make the figure. This is a seam that was on the suit. So, can you tell me what that seam was? Maybe you guys know. If you don't know, what you see here, this seam is how the suit actor got in and out of Titanosaurus. How he got in and out of the suit. So, right along that seam, it opened up Velcro strips or whatever they used to keep it closed. That's where they got in. So, just like I was looking for the peepholes on the neck, you know, I couldn't find any to see where the suit actor would see out of, but X Plus still managed to capture every little detail that they possibly could in capturing the seam along the back where the suit actor got in and out. Now, if you look at the other side, there is no seam. There's some indent there, but that's not a seam. It's not well defined like it is on this side. Okay, so that is your seam. Very nice detail. Attention to detail. Very nice. All right, moving on. Paint job. Ooh, does anybody want some mustard? I remember when this figure was announced. This was before I was even collecting X Plus. Ooh, look at my wobbly table. I just noticed that everybody hates my wobbly table because I need to get a new one. I'm tired of the wobbliness, right? Anyway, so when this figure first came out, everybody was like, oh god, it looks like they sprayed it with mustard, and oh, it looks horrible. Oh my god, what are they thinking? Blah, 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 blah. But you know what? No, it doesn't. It does not look like they took some mustard and squirted them all over the place. I mean, yeah, you know, he does have some subtle highlights with the yellow, but it's not hurting the figure at all. At all. I mean, it looks great. This figure looks great. So, now about the paint job. First off, the skin is it's a red skin. He's got the yellow, the mustard in there. So you got the red mixed with the yellow, you know, and the shades of red change throughout the body. It's really amazing. You know, it almost looks like red orange, dark red, yellow orange. It's really, really, really well done throughout the whole body. Okay, so that looks good. The back, the fins on the back, they fade and shade up from the skin, so you got hints of red orange. And then blended in with almost mostly a yellow. Now, that's yellow, so yeah, it's kind of yellow. See? So that looks good. So there's your yellow. All right. The chest and the stomach, mostly tan with shades of brown. So that looks cool. Again, the muscles, the pecs here, because like you know, it looks like he's bulging with his muscles and pecs. You know, so they've painted that to give those chest-ripping ripples some brown there to make them look like the cracks and whatnot. So that looks good. All the, what do we call these humdingers before? Dimples. All the dimples are mostly, they look dark brown, really, or like dark blue and green. You know, a lot of different colors on these. Some are black, some are almost fades of blue, but that's when the yellow and the reds are mixing. So that looks pretty good. Okay. The tail. Again, orange mixed in with some yellow. So that looks good. Very nicely shaded there. Take a look at that. Very nice. So one thing I love about the paint jobs on these figures is the shading is done good. Very, very good. Alright. The fingernails and the claws, toes, fingernails, toenails, claws, paws, whatever you want to call them, all done in bone white. Shades of gray and some blacks, you know, the fading in the toenails and the fingernails look really good. It's another, like I just said, the shading is done really well. So it makes it look like, you know, there's some consistency, as if the bones were actually growing out, or the nails, I'm sorry, the nails are actually growing out of his fingers. It's not just, you know, like they popped it on there, you know. So the paint job is made very, very well done. Painted awesome. Very awesome, okay? Mustard, mustard, mustard. The face, again, basic color throughout the whole body on the face. Reds and some yellow highlights. The eyes are painted golden with golden orange actually, and with black pupils. So, oh, that looks awesome. Looks so good. The teeth, bone white. The gums, tongue, everything's all on it is in your typical gum red. The tongue's actually in red, so that looks really cool. You know, so that accent's nicely done. Nicely done. Unicorn horns, those are done in bone white, so those look cool. Alright, so that's pretty much the paint job. Looks good. Looks damn good. Alright, moving on! Joints and seams. Alright, joints and seams. Let's see, we got arm, 1, 2. Nothing at the legs. Nope. Nothing at the legs. Tail, 3. So we have 3 seams, 3 joints. Nothing at the head. So that's it. So those are your joints and seams, okay? So you could move them a little bit if you want. Put the arms up. You know, I like them up. Put them up. Like them right about there. And the tail, you know, you could kind of just move it side to side. Hey, you know what? If you got having some trouble with your shelf space, you might want to shift the tail a little bit one way or the other. But that's it. And mind you, a real quick story about the tail. Before I knew about getting squishy soft with the hairdryer, I think it took me like an hour to try to figure out how to get this on. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to get the hairdryer out. And this was before I think I was even in the X Plus group on Facebook. So I had nobody to tell me this. I figured it out on my own. Got the hairdryer on. And what took me an hour to do took me like 2 minutes. I'm like, ah, damn it! Why didn't somebody tell me this? Why didn't you tell me, Titanosaurus? So, alright, anyway, so joints and seams. Bam! Size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, we're going to use the 25 centimeter Godzilla 75. Now, from the same movie, what do we see here? They're not in the same scale. Why? Because 25 centimeter scale, 30 centimeter scale. So for those of you collectors out there that have, 10-inch figures, now remember, 25 centimeters is just about 10 inches. So having a 10-inch figure in the 25 centimeter scale compared to a 30 centimeter figure will put you at that. Now, mind you, Titanosaurus is probably one of the tallest 30 centimeter figures there are. The exact height, where's my tape measure? You know what? I don't know what tape measure is. So just trust me on this. 30 centimeter scale, 25. But these are not in scale, okay? So what do we need? We need either a 30 centimeter Godzilla 75 or a 25 centimeter Titanosaurus. X Plus, are you listening? We want more figures. Now. Alright, maybe not right now. My wallet's like in the little bit of, I can breathe a little bit. Okay? Alright, so that's your size comparison. Boom. Boom. Oh. Alright, Rick Boy. Rick Boy feature. Okay, for the Rick Boy, this is, when X Plus was doing Rick Boys and not everything freaking lit up. Not that I don't like some of the light ups. Sorry, X Plus. I love the 64. So, the Rick Boy for this is the submarine that you saw in the beginning of the film. In the beginning of the film, Titanosaurus emerges from the ocean and attacks this submarine and destroys it. So that's really it. It's a pretty cool ship. Painted in white, black highlights for windows and some other things and engines and whatnot, thrusters, and it's got some Japanese on it. I forget what it says. I don't know what it says actually. Who knows? Let me know. Put it in the comments. And, that's it. It's pretty cool. It's a submarine. Bam! Alright, final thoughts. Okay, so, I love this figure. It's a must-have. Right now, some people ask, where can you get it? There's nowhere to get it. Check eBay. Check Amazon. Check Yahoo Japan. Check Mandarake. X Plus Group. Maybe somebody's selling one. As far as pricing goes, I can't tell you. This figure's been out for over 2 years. It's going to be from a collector or a third party. And what do we know about third party sellers is that they jack the price up on every X Plus figure they sell right now. So, if you're looking for this figure, be patient. Take your time. Don't break yourself in the bank. Be smart. Everything comes full circle. I've helped some collectors out, and I've watched collectors be patient, and they get the figure they want for a great price. So just be patient. Don't pay stupid eBay prices. Don't pay them. Don't pay them. Please, if you guys learn anything, it is please, anything from collecting or watching me, be patient, do your homework, ask around, keep your eyes open. Don't go to eBay and pay those prices. Don't. Your money is more valuable than putting it in somebody else's pocket just because they think, oh, hey, you know what? Haha, I'm going to charge $900 for this, or whatever, the stupid prices are. Look, everybody has that figure that they really, really want. So if it's worth it to you, then pay whatever it takes to get it. But I promise you, do your homework, research. Good things come to those who wait. There's good such thing as toy karma. So just be patient. Maybe Diamond will reissue this if they do more 30-centimeter figures. So we'll find out. So that's my my best advice. I'm trying to get this figure. Remember, it's been 2 years since it's been out, and it's long sold out. Okay? Alright. Great figure, great sculpt, great detail. It's awesome. I love that it's, he's red. There's not really too many red characters in the X Plus line. Ebra, yeah, but he's a shrimp, lobster. Okay? So, it's awesome. Titanosaurus. Everett. Bam! Bam! Everett. Woo! Alright, guys. I'll see you next time on the next Fresh Vinyl review. Make sure you check out FreshVinylHQ.com. More written articles, and of course, I'm doing the X Plus database. If you guys haven't checked it out, check it out. Link below, of course. Titanosaurus is going to be on it. Bam! And that's what I got to say about that. And remember, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl! He doesn't sound like that. Forget about that!